Welcome back to another episode of the Enlightened Spectacle. I am Josie DeVere, and today I've decided to take a different approach to this podcast. I'm going to combine the last 5 stories I posted to my blog so I can test a theory. And the theory, I'm sure you're familiar, but it's the one where we look back over a period of time, and often it's months or years, and we can see how things worked out exactly as they should, and that everything, whether it was good or bad circumstance, it all had its place and role in that bigger picture. So, in a similar fashion, I want to see if I can extract the deeper wisdom from just the last few days. Because if I can start to see that pattern, perhaps I can drive this thing called life a bit better. It would definitely make for a stronger case for all the journaling I do every morning. It would even give my blog and this podcast bigger meaning as well. So you can say that by testing this theory, I'm applying a long term approach to short term thinking. So let's get started. Yesterday's surrender. Had a few random thoughts this morning. This one was a continuation of yesterday. Funny how we don't see the subtle changes in ourselves each day. We expect things to be the same as yesterday, but they're slightly, almost unnoticeably different. Yet your goal, if you have one, remains the same. So take yourself to the sea of thought and wade in. You know where you want to go. Just let it take you. The place of yesterday's surrender you may no longer recognize. Ease your grip and be a gentle guide. Wade yourself into the ocean of thought and surrender to the tide. The doors to which you are carried, you will quickly see that this new version of you is the key. Says you. These words have been in my mind since 3 a.m., so they clearly want you to know what you're thinking. Trust me, said you. You choose. The meaning of life is embedded in free will. You can either claim free will for yourself and embrace the possibilities and responsibilities which go with it, or you can give it away to the ideas of others. The choice is truly yours. Free will. It'll be a bitch if you let it, and most people let it. Thinking at a decent hour. This is one of my rare, it's not morning and it's not 3 a.m. either thoughts. I got to thinking about life and the perpetual quest for meaning, and just how absolutely fascinating it is when you find it. Then I realized that meaning is often found after something ends. You gain knowledge from the perspective. And while everything in life ends, some lifelong loves, which are what many of us would call forever, go on to create legacies which endure for the ages. And those transcend meaning. Those give life purpose. Meaning is meaningless if beginnings do not end. But what of the few things in life which truly last forever? Within them lies more than meaning. Within them, you find purpose. Permission. Got to thinking about words which resonate with us. That resonance is approval of sorts, permission, and proof that you're not alone. Proof that you're safe. Proof that you have a tribe who accepts you and how you think. But I implore you to think about the permission those we admire risk by embracing their freedoms to boldly express a thought which may or may not be of popular opinion. Because there is a risk in permission, if you really think about it. And that is true freedom. Through the words of those we admire, we find permission to be who we know ourselves to be. As I tied this all together, I see a story emerge. And just as I suspected, the theory is correct. There is short-term meaning. We don't have to wait months or years to see the path. It's right in front of us at all times. And these 5 entries tied together have proven it. It began with recognizing a change and asking to trust the self and find self-confidence, which Self-confidence is something the world often shakes from us. And then take this change and its accompanying confidence as you go in search of meaning and perhaps something even greater. Give yourself permission to simply embrace who you are. Recognize that there are risks in this outer reality, risks to being your genuine self, but equally embrace that genuine self. Because when you embrace your genuine self, you find true freedom. And I hope that these 5 elements, I hope that you give them some deeper thought as time goes on, because maybe your higher self is asking you to simply have confidence and embrace who you are as you go in search of what truly matters to you. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode of The Enlightened Spectacle. You are welcome to follow me on Instagram at Madam Josie DeVere, and you can also find all of these stories with accompanying pictures on the Enlightened Spectacle blog at josiedevere.com. And that's also where you can get caught up on my progression down the path of enlightenment. And as many of you know, this started out as an author's quest to just write short stories, and it quickly became an existential, esoteric, and psycho-spiritual exploration of one woman to know enlightenment. And I truly hope that my journey encourages you as your journey unfolds as well. We will chat soon. Thank you again. Have a great one.